Hello students, Jai Swaminarayan. I am Professor Urvish Mewada, HOD Electrical Department, Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology, Bhat Gandhinagar. I am the subject matter of Industrial Instrumentation subject, which is in the 7th semester Electrical Engineering, and GTU subject code of this subject is 2170913. Students, we are currently discussing the chapter number 6, Flow Measurement, in which today we have the lecture number 2, and we are going to discuss the topic number 3, that is flow meter. But before we start this topic, just recall the previous lecture in which what we have discussed. So in lecture number 1 we have discussed introduction in detail, say the types of flow and the introduction of what is flow actually is, and which type of basically industry means application of this means the flow or which we use for the flow measurement for we use for the domestic then commercial, then the say industrial purpose and the agricultural purpose. And then we have discussed the different types of flow, in which we have discussed the types of flow, say laminar flow, turbulent flow. And then after we have discussed the Reynolds number, which is responsible for the for the different type of flow in from the any medium. And then and then we have discussed the flow meter. We have started with the flow meter, in which we have defined the classification of the flow meter. And in the classification of the flow meter we have discussed the mechanical flow meter, in which we have discussed the piston meter and the multi-jet flow meter. So this is what we have done till today. And now today we are starting with the lecture number 2 and topic number 3 in the flow meter. The topic is Venturi tube. So Venturi tube, basically here we are using for the flow measurement. So you can see the shape of the Venturi tube. Over here you can see that at this means at the inlet point and at the outlet point the diameter of the tube is same, but at the this point where the we have the throat section, or we can say neck, in at which we are having a narrow portion. So ultimately what we are doing, we are creating a pressure difference, and from that we can measure the flow which is passing through this Venturi tube. So let us discuss how this Venturi tube will act. So basically it measures the differential pressure, and we are creating a pressure difference by this shape of this tube. And that result across the say construction. In this you can see that this is the shape by which we are creating the pressure difference. And Venturi meter basically are the like means like all other differential pressure measuring device, which are based on the Bernoulli's theorem, that we have already discussed what is actually a Bernoulli's theorem for the flow measurement. And the performance and the calculations are similar to those for the orifice plate. So let us discuss how this means what is the construction and how this Venturi tube will act or it will work. Basically the Venturi tube is made up of basically this Venturi tube is made up of say cast iron or the carbon steel or the stainless steel, any means any of the material which mostly available, or we can say alloys which consisting of the cylindrical inlet section, which are equal in pipe diameter, so that we can use for the Venturi tube as a Venturi tube. And you can see the conical section over here, which cross sectional area which is decrease, which causing the velocity increase. So over here you can see that where the area is more, at that the velocity is less, and when the area is narrow, where the at the point velocity will increase. And means this is how we can creating a pressure difference, and the differential pressure which can be generated by such kind of shape of this Venturi tube. And we can say which this tube is tube which has a tapped from a high pressure tap and the low pressure tap. This is the high pressure tap and this is the low pressure tap. Pressure is more, velocity is less. Pressure is less, velocity is more. So this is the relation between pressure and velocity, and this is how we are creating the pressure difference using Venturi tube. Now the that can be measured by, say, manometer. We can connect manometer over here to measure the flow through this Venturi tube, and that gauges which are known as the differential, say, pressure transmitter. So this is what the construction of the Venturi tube, and how this is how the Venturi tube will act. Let us see the animation of this Venturi tube, so that will be more clear to you. So over here you can see that this is the narrow point where we are creating a pressure, means velocity more compared to the inlet section. Over here you can see that the velocity will become turbulent at this point, and at this point you can see that pressure is greater and velocity is less. And at this point you can see that this is the center portion at which the pressure is, say, less, and the velocity will be more. So in this diagram that will be more clear to you. You can see that this is the means level of the mercury. It is highest at this point. You can see that pressure is less, so that's why the mercury is reaching at the highest level. And this is the point where the mercury level is, say, low, and this is also a point where mercury level is low. Once this portion is going is rising, you can see that whenever the flow is transferring through this neck, at that point the pressure will decrease, and at this point the pressure is, say, maximum. If pressure is decreased, then mercury will set the level, means highest over here, and the rest of the 2 points where the mercury will set according to the pressure which is available in the inlet, and the point where we are releasing the water, or sorry, where we are releasing the liquid. So this is how this Venturi tube will work. And this the means this 2 point where we are creating the pressure difference, at that point we can connect the mercury tube, which will have the differential pressure, so that it will set a different level. And the height difference of this mercury will be the flow through this Venturi tube. So electronic transmitters which are most accurate for differential pressure transmitter. So this is how the Venturi tube will work for the flow measurement. Now let us discuss the advantages of the Venturi tube. So yes, it is having relatively high accuracy, because we are just creating a pressure difference and we are measuring the velocity. We are not affecting the flow of the means fluid which is passing through the Venturi tube. Also it is having a good range and having ability to measure an accurate value of the pressure, and it can be used for the high velocity flow in larger pipeline. So yes, this setup can be we can place this setup in between the pipe from we are transferring a fluid, and we can measure the pressure of or flow of this the fluid which is passing through that pipe, and it is having a better flow stability. So these are the advantages of Venturi tube, so that make it say means uh, measurement friendly. So yes, that make it the measurement friendly, and we can use this Venturi tube for the measurement of the flow. Now let us discuss the limitation of the Venturi tube. So yes, cost is high for piping layout in case of the large size. If we want to measure flow through the large pipe, then the cost will increase, because it requires the large material. And yes, cavitation problem can occur at very high flow velocity. So whenever a liquid or fluid is containing slurries or any other contaminants in the means fluid, then it can create the cavity inside the pipe. And due to its construction, it is difficult to inspect, because we cannot inspect from inside. To avoid problem and impact, the inspection port can be provided near the throat section. So yes, the inspection portion we provide at the throat section, so we can avoid this problem. So these are the limitation of the Venturi tube. So yes, this is how the Venturi tube will work. And yes, according to its advantages, we can use it for the domestic purpose, commercial purpose, industrial purpose, and residential purpose for the flow measurement. And these are the limitation of the Venturi tube. So this is how we can use Venturi tube for the flow measurement. Now let us discuss the second topic, that is orifice plate. Now in orifice plate, yes, you can see that this is the principle of operation orifice plate, and this is the diagram of the orifice plate. In this you can see that this is the office or orifice plate, and we are inserting this orifice plate in this in between this say setup. So yes, we do not have any means shape of the say like venturi tube. We are creating a pressure difference by inserting the orifice plate, and by inserting the orifice plate we will have the narrow portion in between the flow, and we can create the pressure difference inlet side and outlet side because of just by putting this orifice plate over here. So in this diagram you can see that this is the point where we are applying the flow, or we are inserting the flow, and this is say orifice say diameter. This is the diameter of the orifice plate. After inserting, the diameter of the pipe will become like this. So yes, this is the pressure difference that is created by the orifice plate inserting inside the pipe, and this is nothing but the portion that we are adding is called the vena contracta say diameter. So this is the diameter of the vena contracta. Now let us discuss the principle of operation first of all, then after we'll discuss the construction and working of this orifice plate. So in this case, yes, the working principle is somewhat similar to the Venturi tube. So yes, this device measures the rate of fluid flow. Yes, rate of fluid flow means we are creating a rate of fluid flow. If the orifice plate is not inserted, the diameter of the tube will remain same, and we cannot create the pressure difference in the pipe. So flow will remain constant throughout the pipe. So yes, it works on the principle of the Bernoulli's principle, means Bernoulli's principle that we have already discussed. That it can Bernoulli's principle say that there is a relationship between the pressure and fluid. Yes, what we have discussed in the previous case also. So whenever the pressure increases, the velocity decreases, and the pressure decreases, the velocity will increases. So yes, when the velocity increase, pressure decreases. So we are creating the pressure difference using by inserting the orifice plate in between this pipe, and we are creating a narrow portion where we can create the pressure difference. And yes, let us discuss the construction and working. So yes, basically a thin plate which with a hole in the middle. It is usually placed in say pipe in which the fluid flow. This is the we can say plate having the hole which is placed inside the pipe. You can see that on this over here in this animation. You can see that whenever the flow is transferring through this hole, at this point the pressure is means at this point pressure is maximum. At the center point the pressure means is released, so that the flow rate will increase from of this side, and at this side it will become normal. So by placing such kind of plates, we can creating the pressure difference, and this pressure difference can be measured in terms of flow rate. So as fluid flow through this pipe, it has certain velocity and say a certain pressure. So let us discuss by this diagram. You can see that over here we have inserted the orifice plate, and flow is transferring from this side. So sharp edge, we use different type of edges to create the pressure, and the high pressure say sensing line, which means this is the point where we are inserting the pressure. So it is nothing but the high pressure sensing portion, and this is the low pressure sensing line. So in between we can connect our manometer, or we can say mercury pipe, which will have the level difference in the say mercury height, and that will be measured in terms of flow rate. So beyond a vena contracta, a fluid expand. So yes, fluid will expand, and velocity and pressure changes once again. So after that and the velocity of the fluid and the pressure, once again it will change. And by measuring the difference in fluid pressure between the normal pipe section and the vena contracta, the volumetric mass flow rate. So yes, volumetric mass flow means whenever we have such kind of narrow area, then volume will increase, volume will decrease, and so that we can say that the velocity of the liquid will increase due to the pressure which is created by the inlet side. So yes, it can be obtained by the Bernoulli's equation that we have already discussed, and the sharp edges which we use in the means orifice plate, it results almost pure line contact. So yes, most of the fluid will say in means passes through the by contacting this point, and in between the plate and the effective flow with the negligible fluid to metal friction, and so there is no friction between the. So if we use say thick plate, then it will resist the flow of fluid, and yes, we can obstruct the uh, rate of fluid which is transferring through this pipe. So yes, so due to this such kind of arrangement, the negligible fluid to metal friction will say friction drag at the boundary, and so that we will have the pressure difference at both the side, and we can measure this pressure difference in say manometer, or the gauge that we use to measure the pressure. So this is the rate, means the flow which is passing through this, and these are the line which shows that the shape of the fluid which is transferring through this orifice plate. Now generally we use different types of orifice plates according to our fluid types. So in industry, generally we do not have say plain liquid or plain fluid. So fluid may contains the slurry or any contaminant. So according to that contaminants level inside, means which is present inside the plate, we can use the types of orifice plate, and these are the shape that we can insert inside the plate to avoid the say choking of the pipe, and say a single orifice plate which consisting say thin metal having a different shape. So these are the shape that we can use, and different edges such as square edge, and the sharp edge, and then the round edge and the circular edge that can be used. And the name of this say orifice plates are according to the vena contracta, or we can say the plate we are inserting inside the plate. So inside the pipe. So first is the say concentric, and second one is eccentric, and third one is segmental. So basically say concentric type is used to clean the fluid, and for the clean fluid, so generally whenever the fluid is clean, so we can use this centered center hold means orifice plate. And when the fluid is dirty, or we can say it contains the slurry or any contaminants, then we can use the eccentric or segmental type orifice plate, which means which can use such a way that the lower edge coincides with the inside bottom of the pipe, and so that there will be a no choking of the liquid through whenever the fluid which is passing through such shapes, and which allows the solid to flow through without any obstruction, that we already have the discussion. According to this means placement of this means this placement of the orifice plate is depending upon the liquid type that we want to for that we want to measure a flow through a pipe. So this is how the orifice plate work. And let's discuss the expression related to measure the volume flow rate. So yes, commonly used material for the orifice plates such are the stainless steel, then the phosphorus bronze, then the ceramic, then plastic, copper, and then the tantalum and the aluminum. So according to the fluid type or liquid type, we can use different type of material so that we can avoid the corrosion and erosion of the pipe. And also we can we can avoid the say scratches inside the pipe, and we can provide the good abrasive material for highest contaminated liquid. So the flow rate is given as say Q is equal to K into under root of delta P, where Q is the say volume or we can say volume flow rate which is transferring through the pipe, means the amount of fluid which is transferring through this pipe, this orifice orifice plate, and the K is the say account for the pipe and the liquid type. According to the pipe and liquid type, we will have the value of K in this equation, and delta P is the drop in pressure across the restriction, or we can say differential pressure. So whenever we put say segmental or any kind of say orifice plate, so then the flow will get obstructed little bit. So yes, the according to that we can say drop in the pressure across the restriction, so that we can put that according to the means the pressure that we measure, and by putting this value we will have the volume flow rate through the pipe. So this is how the orifice plate work. So let us discuss the third topic, means fifth topic, actually, and third topic of this lecture, that is pitot tube. So how the pitot tube work, let us discuss. So let us discuss how pitot tube works. So yes, pitot tube is basically a pressure measuring instrument which used to measure the fluid flow velocity. Yes, we put it in say direction of the say opposite direction to the flow, and that will measure the say fluid flow velocity by determining the stagnation pressure. So yes, pitot tube is having a say structure, through that we will have the two we will get the two pressure when we put it opposite into the means the flow which is transferring through this pipe, through the pipe. And we can create two different pressure. One is stagnation pressure, and the pressure which is created by the fluid. So that can be measured using pitot tube. How it will be measured, let us discuss how this pitot tube work. So yes, basically pitot tube is based on the Bernoulli's equation. It is used to calculate the dynamic pressure and hence the fluid velocity. So yes, Bernoulli's equation basically we will use to measure the fluid which is transferring through the pitot tube, and that can measure the dynamic pressure and the fluid velocity. So yes, this is the point from where the liquid is passing, and this is the placement of the say pitot tube. And in this point, this is the direction of the fluid which is transferring through this pipe, and this is the V1 and P1 is the say velocity one and the pressure that is created at the initial portion. Then after, this is the placement of this pitot tube. At this point, means at the center, it will measure the, it is called the stagnation point, where the we can create the stagnation pressure, and this is the say obstruction of the this provide the obstruction to the fluid. So the fluid will change the like path to flow from the upside and the downside, from the means downward side and up the upward side from the pitot tube, and somewhat amount of the fluid which is transferring through the stagnation point. So that we will have the two different pressure of the one is the through the because of the velocity of the fluid at the upside and the bottom side, and this is the center side at which we will get the stagnation pressure. So let us discuss how this pitot tube will actually work. So pitot tube is an say obstruction type fluid, and which measure the velocity of the say fluid velocity measurement device, and as the kinetic head is lost by the fluid, and it gains a static head. So yes, at this point we will get the static head, because initially whenever the liquid is transferring or fluid is transferring from this side, it is having a kinetic head. At this point it will lost the kinetic head, and that point it gains the static head. And by measuring the difference pressure difference of the pressure between say the normal flow, this is the normal flow line, and the stagnation point, this is the point is called the stagnation point. This is the normal flow line from the upside and bottom side, you can see that. And because of this differences, the flow which is flowing from the upside and bottom side normally, and the flow which is obstructed over here at the stagnation point, the difference of this two flow is called the fluid which is transferring through, or we can say flow rate which is transferring through this pipe, and that can be measured with the help of pitot tube. So let us see the animation related to this pitot tube, so that will be more clear to you how the pitot tube actually works. Yes, in the construction you can see that this is the pipe in which we are inserting this pito tube. We need to insert this pito tube in the in the opposite direction to the fluid. If the fluid come reverse, then it will not measure the means the rate of fluid, or we can say flow rate, with the help of, we cannot measure using this pito tube. So yes, pito tube consists of a say tube which impact, see, this is the actual standard say dimension. Opening side it is having 3.125 at this point, and to the 6.30 according to the say type of liquid we can use the pito tube, and diameter which points towards the approaching the fluid. So this is the point where the fluid is approaching, or we can say is transferring, going to struck on the pito tube stagnation point, and a small hole inside in the side of the prop. So on the surface of the prop we have the small holes like this. In this diagram you can see that this is the static tap, or we can say several equally say spaced circumferences. Such kind of holes are present or created, and the differential pressure is proportional to the square of the stream velocity, the velocity which is transferring through this, the according to the means velocity of this the fluid which is transferring through this pito tube. So which is say the differential pressure is proportional to the square of the stream velocity. And over here animation, in this animation you can see that the velocity is say as decreased, then this point will get increased, means where the flow is not obstructing at this point, you can say. And as the velocity say decreased, say at that point you can see that the mercury will set the level according to the obstructed fluid. So at this point you can see that once the liquid is passing through this, and this is the point where we are obstructing the fluid, or we can say we are actually say the point where the point at which the fluid is acting. So yes, according to the fluid pressure, this will go down, and the at this point the fluid pressure is low. So yes, this mercury will set a level, means over here you can see that, and this point both having a difference. So this is the say the change in height. You can see that 1.5 meter, 1.6 meter, or say going to the say 0.1 meter according to the fluid pressure, or because of velocity which is present. And in this you can see that this is the point, means where the fluid struck, and we can have the streamline pressure and the stagnation pressure difference over here in this differential manometer, and in which we will measure the height difference of the mercury, and that will indicate the flow rate through the pipe of any of any material. And yes, pito tube causes practically no pressure loss in flow rate due to its construction structure. Yes, actually we are obstructing the fluid, but on the surface of the pito tube we are having the small hole, so that it will not reduce the flow rate of the fluid. It just create the pressure difference at the point where the stagnation point we have and the streamline, and we will have the mercury level difference according to the placement of this pipe, or placement of this pito tube inside the pipe. And the disadvantage of this pito tube is that getting the average flow, and it is necessary to move the tube back and from across the streamline, establishing the velocity at all the point to get the average velocity. So yes, yes, as I would discuss that if we want to measure a reverse flow, then we need to means change the position of this pito tube to measure the reverse flow. So it cannot measure the reverse flow. And yes, streamline, or we can say it can measure the like average flow. And this is the application of the say pito tube. So this is how pito tube actually works, and this is the most MP question of this chapter. So please go through it carefully, and try to understand it. Now after this presentation you have the assignment question are: one is explain the venturi tube for flow measurement in detail, and the second one is explain the orifice plate for the flow measurement. One more question I am forget to add over here. The third is explain on the pitot tube for the flow measurement. So you are having three assignment question over here. I forgot to put one additional question over here, so please mark it, and please write down the third question, that is explain the working function, or we can say explain pitot tube for the flow measurement in detail. The instructions which are related to assignment question is written below, please read it carefully, and you can take the snap of this slide also. If you have any query and doubt related to this topic, then we can solve your queries and doubt in our doubt solving session. And if you have any further query related to the any of the question related to the electrical engineering, then feel free to call me anytime to solve your queries and doubt. So this is what I am done for this now. So thank you very much, student. Thank you all. Jai Swaminarayan.